And we are live on another edition of All In on High School Sports. Kurt Valenti, Jennifer Valenti, how are you?
I'm good. Good evening. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight.
It's a little different start to All In on High School Sports tonight.
A somber note.
And Kenny Kirkpatrick starting off. Hello, All In on High School Sports family. Tough day for everyone, but I know Jen and Kurt will help us out. Coach Siciliano, devastated. And devastated because of the news.
The untimely passing of Ramapo head coach Drew Gibbs. Our thoughts and prayers are, of course, with his family, and of course his extended family of Ramapo football.
Yeah, and we again, Coach Gibbs. I could say this, and I'll get into a personal in a second, but I've said many times on the show, the best head coach in New Jersey, and I stand by it. Not to slight anybody else, he was just that damn good, and I will say it. He's the best coach in New Jersey. On a personal note, and I spoke to a couple people today. I spoke with, Coach Siciliano. We spoke with Coach Breslin, obviously a little bit, and I spoke with Coach Alimo, people who we coach, people who coached under, and the thought going from all of us was, we all thought we knew football, but then when we got with Coach Gibbs, it was like, oh my God, like we knew nothing compared to this guy. And I could say, I want to thank him, obviously, for giving me a chance to learn under him and then being able to develop into an offensive coordinator at St. Mary's. And I mean, I give him all the credit in the world. And just to learn, like Kenny's saying, great coach, but even a better person, you will be missed. And we could just see on his social media today with Twitter and Facebook of just how many players and all coaches from other programs of, what their thoughts were for him, and, it's going to be an unbelievable, listen, everyone's going to miss him. Program, Eddie Sis is saying on another level. But hey, he was the first coach on our show.
Yeah, we did Coaching Legends, and he was, a current coach, still coaching, and we did.
He did it from his backyard, remember?
Yep,
did it from his backyard, brought some kids on.
Yep. As you were mentioning social media, it's one thing to recognize Coach Gibbs as the coach that he was, but even... we would be remiss if we did not mention, as Kenny kind of said, the person he was as well, and his family and friends, who knew him other than Coach Gibbs, have remarked on the mark he left on their families, and, it's that he brought to his program. He taught his players football, his staff as well, but as I'm sure anybody would tell you, he taught them he taught them good life lessons as well, and how to be good men, and that is evident by the things that people have been remembering about him, not only as his coaching persona, but him as a person as well.
Yeah, and it's not about now, if they're going to play versus Northern Highlands, and it's not about that. That game doesn't matter right now. Even though, knowing him, hey, go get the game. But, the only thing I can say is the Lord above, it's probably a big football game going on somewhere, and he probably said, I need a damn coach. And you know what? He's like, I can't lose this game, so you know what? I'm going to get the best, so I'm going to get Coach Gibbs. But, and Eddie Siciliano saying a father figure. And you know what? You heard a lot of people say that today. But, hey, rest in peace, Coach. We hopefully will do something nice for Coach down the road. But, again, just shocking and heartbreaking because he was the best, man. And, listen, we're all going to miss him.
100%.
Okay, so that was for Coach Gibbs. Amen. Eddie Sis is saying amen. And so what else do we got going on for the show tonight?
So on tonight's agenda, we will be welcoming the Hanover Park Football Coach, Daniel Fulton. After Coach Fulton, we'll be joined by the East Orange head football coach, Rae Oliver. And our guest picker tonight is a Mr. Frank Calendrillo of Garfield Junior Boilermaker football. So That is what we have slated this evening. And our first guest is ready in the waiting room. So I am going to let Coach Fulton in.
Sounds good.
All right, let's get him in and situated. Make sure we're functioning. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Good. Can you hear us okay?
I can. Can you hear me?
Yep, we're good. We're good. So let me officially
Awesome.
introduce you to our audience. We're joined by Coach Daniel Fulton of Hanover Park Football. He's been the coach there since 2018, making this his fourth year at the helm. His team is currently 6-4, and they are still alive in the North 1 Group 2 bracket of the state tournament. This weekend, they will travel to number 2 seed Caldwell to play for the sectional final. Coach, congratulations on making it to the sectional final, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm going to actually
You
start
start
off
off,
with you
yep.
tonight. So you guys come into your bracket as the 8 seed, and you upset the number 1 seed, undefeated Ramsey. Then you follow that up by defeating number 4, another upset, number 4 Waldwick. Can you give us a quick recap of those first 2 games?
Yeah, sure. Before I do that, just I have to mention New Jersey football lost a legend today with Coach Gibbs. Him and I weren't best friends or anything like that, but as a young coach, he was somebody who was always really good to me, really nice to me. He was an open book in terms of helping me with offense and defense, and I think he was a better man than coach, which is saying a lot. And New Jersey lost somebody special. There's a lot of people up at Ramapo that are hurting right now, so any thoughts and prayers we can send their way, I'm sure they'll appreciate.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Well
Thank
said.
you.
Yeah, no, sorry to take it down from the beginning, but
No, we I don't know if you were able to watch our
I'm sure
intro.
you guys did something
We did,
already.
Kurt actually coached with Coach Gibbs at Ramapo, so
wow.
we did
So
want
you know.
Yeah.
we did want to pay him the proper respect, and your words, you know what? I got to be honest with you, Coach. We left out a mentor to other coaches. Like Kurt
Yep.
coached with
Yeah.
him, so of course his staff members, but you make a great point about just being a mentor to, opposing coaches as well. So thank you for bringing that up.
Yeah, no, he doesn't know me. I mean, we talk on the phone. I'm active in the with the association, but I called him up asking to see if we could just talk offense, and he was an open book and an incredible resource to not just me, but all the guys on my staff, and an incredible role model for a young coach like me. So yeah, it's a sad day in New Jersey football.
100%.
But no, back to the games. Ramsey kicked our butt. I don't know, week 6, week 7, or something like that. 49-7. I just don't think my game plan was very good going into the game. I don't think the kids were as excited as they needed to be. And Ramsey was a great team, and they beat the hell out of us. When we got that draw, we were excited. The kids were jacked up. They were ready to go. That's all they were focused on. And, I think we were a little lucky that Ramsey was banged up. So on top of us getting healthy from, being banged up throughout the course of the year and them being a little nicked up, and our game plan being better and the way the kids played, it was a perfect storm, and just a pretty awesome experience. And then Waldwick was another good one. That's a well-coached team. Coach Gross does a great job there. Year in and year out, all they do is win. And they do some things offensively that present some issues. But we were pretty confident going into that matchup, especially, if we could play like we did against Ramsey, we're going to be a pretty tough out.
So, Coach, like Jen said, again, congratulations on this run, and awesome. Like you said, I did coach with Coach Gibbs, and you're 100%. Like Coach Cislano saying, well said, Coach. You hit it right on the money. But so you got, like Jen said, you started as an 8 seed, you play the 1 seed, you get that upset. Then you play the 4 seed, you get that upset. Now you're in the sectional final. You're 4 quarters away from winning the sectional final. So do you consider, are you guys still we're still the underdogs, or you're like, hey, we're 4 quarters away from it?
No, absolutely. I mean, Caldwell thumped us 3 weeks ago. They were our Week 9 game. They beat the crap out of us. They're a well-coached team. They're big, they're fast, they're strong, they're good at everything they do. And they're the type of team we're trying to be. They're not going to impress you with their numbers when they get off the bus. They're a thin roster, but every kid's a hammer. They all do what they're supposed to do. It's a good group of tough kids, and they smacked us around last time. So we're hoping to return the favor on Friday, change our game plan up a little bit. But, this is only the 3rd time Hanover Park's been in a sectional final. So the kids are jacked up. They're excited. But they know I have a very veteran group. I'm lucky. I've got a lot of 2- and 3-year starters. So they know exactly what they're walking into. This is going to be a war. We hope. We can make it a little bit better than the last time.
Coach, can you highlight some of those players for us on both sides of the ball that'll have had an impact for you this season and been leaders for you on the field?
Sure. It starts with Mike Philippone. His dad and uncle both played here. at Hanover. I think they were both on the state championship team in 1990. He's one of the best backs I've ever had, best running back, excuse me. And we moved him around on defense, and he kind of found a home at middle linebacker the past couple weeks. He's been doing a great job there. He just broke the rushing record at Hanover Park last week. He's got 26 or 2,700 yards on the ground in his 2.5 years as a starter. So that was pretty impressive. Next one up is Brett Baer, senior receiver and D-back for us. He's another 3-year starter that's kind of gone through the ringer as a sophomore and paid his dues. And the past 2 years has had a lot of success for us. He had a monster game last week against Wallrob. I think 5 receptions for 200-plus yards, 3 scores, an interception, a tackle, some kick returns. He lost his grandma, I believe, on Tuesday. So he missed some practice time, dealing with that and being with his family, and came back and had just a monster game. It was a really cool story for him. Paul Costantino is another receiver, but he's our captain of the defense. He runs the defense for us as a free safety. He's another 3-year starter that's battled injuries early on in his career and has just gotten better and better each year. Vinner Foley runs our offensive line. He's our center and one of our better D linemen. Another 3-year starter for me. Leo Ferrantelli and Thomas DeFranco are O linemen, D linemen that are 2-year starters for us. And then, there's a bunch of kids that I want to name, but another one's Mikey Borrello. He's our quarterback, one of our linebackers. He had a decent start to the year and then a tough stretch in the middle of the year where he kind of kept throwing to the other team too much, which was a problem. But the past couple of weeks, he's been lights out for us and just doing a phenomenal job. And he's a big reason why we're winning games, offensively and defensively.
Nice.
We got a comment from Dr. John Taylor, athletic director at Irvington, and he's saying, quote unquote, speaking about you, coach, saying, my game plan wasn't very good. I didn't get the kids excited enough to play. When talking about your assistants, they did a great job. Coach Fulton takes no credit for himself with success, takes the blame for defeats, and praises others when the team does well. Coach Fulton is okay with me. Hanover Park is lucky to have him. So that's from Dr. John Taylor, AD
Appreciate
at
that,
Irvington.
Coach. Appreciate it.
There's
Thank you very much.
Dr. John Beelan saying, I always said Dr. Beelan. I mean, it's been nuts.
Almost named his
Look at those two. You guys know the deal. Coach, you talked a little bit. I was going to ask you a second thing about the sectional final with Caldwell, but you kind of broke it down a little bit. So I'll ask you this. Coaching, playoffs are, regular season. Now you got your playoffs, but now it's a sectional final. How do you kind of get to the kids to say, hey, just like the movie with Hoosiers, it's still a football game. I mean, the stakes are high, but how do you, how are you hey, it's still a regular football game?
Yeah, we gotta play. I mean, that's we try not to change much during the week. This is the third section final I've been in. 1 as a player and 2 as a coach now. And the biggest thing is we got to do what got us here. And we can't stray from all the good that we've done, but we got to fix our mistakes, and we treat it like every week. I mean, we're still doing tackling drills, turnover drills, and individual periods. We try not to change much. But the pressure's on the kids, the pressure's on us as coaches.
Yep.
But look, I'm so blessed. I'm so lucky. The 2 towns, East Hanover and Florham Park, that I get to work for, they have been so supportive and so good for these kids. I mean, last week at Wallrob, we had more fans than they did. We travel well. It's a good group. They care about me. They care about the kids. It's a special place to be. I'm lucky. It's great small school football. So, we're just trying not to let them down.
You know what, Jen? I'm gonna go into my last question because Coach kind of went into this. So that was my last question. Support of the school, support of the administration, and It's only Tuesday, but can you sense even in that school, they're getting ready, you're ready for Friday night?
Yeah, look, I'm very lucky. I have an incredible support network between previous coaches I've worked for, coached against, coached with, parents, family, friends. Everybody on my staff has just been getting so much love and affection and well wishes from so many people. I mean, guys that were my high school teachers, not even coaches, were sending me stuff. So, I'm lucky, and I can't thank them enough for all their support. It means a lot. But we make fun of Hanover Park. We say nobody ever leaves. I mean, outside of Seaside Heights and East Hanover, most of these people haven't been anywhere. No, but it's such a great community that everybody wants to stay there. So I've got dads who played on the championship team. I'm getting to coach their sons, and I've got dads that have come through the program whose kids are now freshmen and sophomores, and they're just so excited. And it just means more. Most of them don't bother me. I haven't been getting too many emails about playing time, so that's nice. But, it's just a very, very supportive group. My wife's the head soccer coach. I got to throw a shout out to her. She's playing in the semifinals tomorrow against.
Oh, awesome!
Oh, nice. Very
good luck.
Nice.
Good luck for her tomorrow.
Yeah, no, against Sparta, so that's going to be a war. But she feels the same way, and it's cool. It really is family for us. My daughter's always at the games and on the sideline and all that stuff. She comes to our Thursday dinners.
So, Coach, you guys got a boring week in your household this week. You got nothing. You guys got nothing going on, right?
Only if we lose. If we win, we don't really talk to each other during the week. That's good.
I got to read one comment. John Beelan said, I seriously talked to my wife about moving to East Hanover, literally 3 blocks away. I met the wrestling coach and my barber in Westwood, major wrestling school too, straight up talent over there, students and coaches.
Yeah, Coach Branham, him and I were neighbors in Morristown for a while. He's got it going on there with the wrestling program. It's that's probably the most storied program at Hanover Park. And him and I are good friends. I was a wrestler in high school. He didn't play football, but we don't hold that against him. But we've tried to develop a relationship where the kids are playing more than one. I don't care what sport it is, football, basketball. I got to make sure I say that. But wrestling, I think, goes hand in hand, especially with the linemen. So we're constantly trying to get kids to play other sports. But it's nice that I trust Coach Branham and the rest of the coaches with my kids, and they trust me with theirs. And it definitely helps with recruiting. Coach Branham's constantly sending kids to the Big Ten and other D1 schools for wrestling. So it definitely helps me getting those guys in the room or on the field.
Very nice. So, Coach, you took over the program in 2018 after coaching as an assistant with Coach Moore. So can you tell us a little bit about the influence he had on you as a coach and maybe other coaches who have had an influence on your coaching style?
Yeah, Coach Moore just left me in such a good spot. Usually when people take over a program, it's because something's wrong with it or something wrong with the coach. Coach Moore just wanted to spend more time with his son. And, he's been an incredible mentor for me, somebody I can go to and ask questions. But he left me in a really good position. He put together a great staff that I was able to retain most of them. And a lot of the things, a lot of the mechanics of the program were already in place. I had to add my bits and pieces that I wanted to fix and change and better. But, it was a well-run and well-organized program that has really set us up for some success. Other than that, I've had some great coaches that I've worked for and with, and some not so great coaches that I've worked for and with. But some names that stand out. Coach Giancola at Montclair State was just, he's a class act. There's a reason the guy's been there for 112 years. He's, again, just another incredible human being on top of being a good football coach. He was a great mentor. My first football coach, Glenn Wallrob, is another guy who he still texts me and calls me and roots for me. And my wife coached against his daughter when she was playing at Mars Tech. He was still supportive of me somehow. But he's a guy who I look to be like as a coach. And then Dave Albano at Part Hills, Ross Tarlow at Part Hills, my head coach and my old O-line coach, DC. They were just incredible role models. They're the first guys to text me when I win, the congrats, and they're the first guys to tell me what I need to do better when I lose. But I appreciate it. They're, again, Coach Albano, Coach T, Coach Francis, all those guys have been coaching at Part Hills for over 20 years now. They're the example I'm trying to follow and set.
Very nice. All right, we're going to roll into a little segment, Coach, that we call Rapid Fire. So we're going to give you some more, I always say more fun, but then I feel like, I set us up for...
Yeah.
But Kurt's going to start us off. Go ahead.
Coach, biggest coaching win?
Mountain Lakes last year was pretty huge. We were coming off of COVID for 2 weeks. And Mountain Lakes is the cream of the crop. Coach Fusco's got it going on in terms of small school football. And we beat them pretty good, which doesn't usually happen to Mountain Lakes. So that was a pretty nice one. Ramsey was a big one. I mean, they're a hell of a football team, well coached, tough, smacked us around, and just the way my kids rallied around it, that was pretty cool, real cool.
Nice. I'm going to switch mine up. I was going to go with something else, but I'm going to go with biggest rival. Who do you think your biggest rival at Hanover Park is?
Madison High School, is the big rival between the two communities. It's our neighboring school. They're one of the better Group 2 schools in the area. Coach Kubik won, 4, 5, 6 state titles, something like that. They're a tough team to play. It's tough to go there. It's tough for them to come here. It's a good small school rivalry. And in Mountain Lakes, that's another. They're one of the better small schools around historically the past 40 years. Going back with Coach Wilkins. Anytime you can steal a win from them, it means something. So those are two big ones for us. And then West Essex.
I was curious if that was going to be in there. I was curious. I'm a West Essex grad, and what's funny is you went to high school at, was it Par Hills, correct?
Par Hills,
right?
Yeah,
so it's the old Highland Hills Conference, right? It's Par Hills, Hanover Park, and I was just curious. I know you guys try to still play every year, right? Like for the oh god, I can't think of the name of what that trophy is called.
Cardone
Yes,
Cup.
yes, yeah. I was just curious.
I don't know what it looks like. We haven't had it. That's my fault. We'll get it back eventually. No, but I mean, West Essex again. They're one of the best schools in Essex County. They're playing for a state final year in and year out. Coach B does such a good job there, and again, he's another incredible role model. Like, I'm going out there trying to beat the guy, and he's giving me tips and pointers on what to do, and he's just such a class acting great guy when he shouldn't be in a rivalry game. But just such a good guy. And yeah, that's a big one for a lot of the guys on staff, especially, the alumni I have on staff. That's a big one.
All right, Coach, favorite pizza place like in the Hanover Park, like in your area, favorite pizza place?
Oh, man. Hanover Park. Nona's in Florham Park is real good. The Godfather is right across the street. They do some incredible stuff. Really good pies. Their grandma pie is phenomenal. Yeah, Godfather's probably it. And then Godfather in East Hanover. And then Angelina's is another real good one. One of our students, his family owns it, and they do all of our dinners. They have fantastic food. I haven't had their pizza yet, but they do our Thursday night stuff, and it's just fantastic.
There's John Beelan saying Godfather Pizza, Grandma Pie. There you go, Coach.
Yeah. I think I gained 30 pounds this season, so I've been a lot of pizza, a lot of stress and pizza.
Coach, what is your favorite, if you had to choose, of your attire? Nike, Under Armour, or Adidas?
Whatever's cheapest and my booster club can afford. That's it.
My last one for you, Coach. Favorite NFL football team?
The Jets. Big Jets fan, and it's cool. Their practice facilities down the street.
Yeah.
So they what was it? 3 years ago, they took over our school for a game and broadcasted it on Fios. Fios. They redid our weight room for us.
Awesome.
My boys got to meet some of the players. Like, they're just a incredibly generous organization. So on top of being a Jets fan, I get to meet them and hang out with them.
Oh, that's
Quincy
awesome.
Quincy Newton is a former receiver there. He's actually a volunteer for us. He lives, locally and wanted to help out the school. And, he's just been an incredible spark plug for the kids. I mean, he's the most energetic human I've ever met on the sideline. So I've been a Jets fan since Brian Cox and Vinny Testaverde and Curtis Martin, but now I get to meet them and hang out with them, and they get to take care of me and help me. It just makes it even better.
Awesome. Coach Siciliano saying Sorrento's Bakery for crumb cake. So
yes. So Sorrento's, we actually have the owner's son is going to be a hell of a player for us. He's a freshman. His daughter played for my wife. The best brownies and crumb cake I've ever had. Good
Coach, I'm going there
good
Sunday
food.
morning, Coach. I will be there Sunday morning.
It's like a crumb cake fan.
It's like you got to get the brown. I don't know what they do with the sugar on the bottom. It's special. We order from Sorrento's every Friday.
Diet shot. The diet shot, Coach. There you go. All right, your last one, Jim.
All right.
Figure it out later.
Coach, my last one for you is you guys win the big game on Friday night. Who's the first person you turn to celebrate with on the sidelines?
We got to win it first. But I'm going to hug my players. I'm going to hug my players, hug my coaches, say thank you and congratulations for all the hard work and, well-deserved fouls. But those are the guys first. I'm like my dad's on the sideline. I'm sure he'll do something stupid. Try to take a picture or something. Only time I'm ever allowed to yell. Only time I'm ever allowed to yell at my dad.
That's it.
Volunteer assistant coach, get back. Terrible at it. But, the first thing I always do is say thank you to my coaches. And, my daughter, she's 2.5, so she'll be asleep. My wife will be asleep. I'll text them and call them. But, my assistant coaches do all the work. I just get to hang out and yell at the kids.
There you go.
It's nice. So I get to thank them and thank the kids for putting up with my nonsense.
Awesome. Coach, thank you so much for joining us tonight. It was a pleasure to have you
Appreciate
on.
it.
And best of luck to you.
Best
this
of luck,
weekend.
Coach.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, good luck, and I appreciate you guys doing this. This is my first time hearing about you, so hopefully we can spread the word. Good stuff, and good luck. Thank you,
Absolutely.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Have a good night.
Stay safe. Yep.
Okay, Coach Fulton
Coach
from
Hanover Park.
Hanover Park,
Yep.
and what a run! And you know
absolutely.
what, we were looking and saying how many seeds. I want to say Jefferson, in the public side, Jefferson and Hanover is really the only one over the 8. So it's not really. Over a 6 seed where it's a lot of 1, 2, 1, 2, 3s.
Yeah.
He's obviously there the 8. Jefferson, I believe, is a 6. But hey, what a hell of a run right now for Coach Fulton.
Absolutely. All right, we have our next guest ready to come on in. I'm going to bring in Coach Oliver. Once he's in and settled, I will again officially introduce him to us here. Hey, Coach, how you doing?
All right, how are you?
Good. You can hear us okay?
I hear you perfectly. You can hear me good, right?
Yes,
sir.
Perfect as well. Let me just introduce you to our audience, if you don't mind. We are joined by Coach Rae Oliver from East Orange High School. He's been the head coach since 2017, making this his 5th year at the helm. His team is currently the number 1 seed in North 1 Group 5 bracket for the state tournament, and they boast a 10-0 record, and they will play the 3 seed PCTI in the sectional finals this weekend. Coach, congratulations on making it to the sectional finals, and thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Coach, great seeing you again, Coach.
Yeah.
Unbelievable run right now at East Orange, and like Jen said, congratulations on a 10-0. 10-0. I'm saying start because you still got work to do. Hopefully you get it done. But my first question is,
I have the first question.
Oh, I'm sorry. You got. I'm jumping. I want to talk to Coach Oliver here. I'm going to jump. Go ahead. You can go.
We do an agenda, Coach, and then he jumps all over the place. So your game last weekend which was the sectional semifinal, pitted you against your neighboring town of West Orange, which is a rivalry as well. You guys had already seen them in the regular season. How was it to play, them again, a big rival, on such a big stage for this matchup?
Well, before I start, if you don't mind, I just want to send our condolences. The East Orange community sends our condolences out to Drew Gibbs and the family and the whole Ramapo institution that they are. I met Coach Gibbs years ago. I'm an alumnus of Kane. At the time, it was Kane College, and he was our offensive coordinator when I joined the school, and he was awesome then. And we actually had a chance to kind of meet again when last year we played Ramapo on the COVID year. So again, we just heartfelt condolences out to them. And that whole community there at Ramapo, it's a statewide loss. But getting to your question about West Orange is as you said, it's a neighboring town, much like most other towns here, Montclair, a few others, where a lot of the kids know each other. The coaches know each other, and it's become a kind of like a sibling rivalry, if you will. Luckily, we've been on the upswing of it. The last 4 or 5 times we played them, we lost once. But it's always a battle. As you know, it's always hard to beat the same team twice. We did it 2 years ago with Montclair, and we're lucky enough to do it again this year. But it was a good game, hard game. The elements were tough on us. The weather. We had an hour-long rain delay in between, and but the state told us, the referees told us that, listen, no matter what, you're not going to be like Bergen Catholic and other schools. You're going to finish this game today. So I told our guys. I was just going to
ask Coach that. I was going to ask if there was ever a doubt that game was going to get postponed.
That was the first question between, Are your young men properly equipped? And did they have water?
And a sleeping bag.
Yeah, and a sleeping bag. That's right. Prepare for a long day, and we did. And we were just lucky enough to, we got some guys that really play hard. So do they. I think the difference in the game was our desire. I told the kids these types of games are character games, right? Whether you're willing to go into that good night, so to speak. And our team was not ready to kind of end the season. And I think it kind of resonated and showed.
Nice.
Coach, East Orange, if you can go over, just explain the East Orange culture and your football program as a whole.
Wow. It's a lot. It's really like it's simple, but yet, we find it difficult. A lot of kids, I tell our kids all the time, the hardest things to do are the things that are right? Getting up on time and, making sure that everything is ready to go for school and, loving your mother and saying your prayers and taking your vitamins and all that good stuff. So with that, just to speak to the culture, when I took the job in 2017, I didn't let a kid on the team touch a football until we finished 40 community service hours. Not 40. And the whole mantra, the idea behind it was that we know East Orange is a hotbed for talent. Ask any parochial school in the Northeast, right? Mm-hmm. Guys like Jabril Peppers with the Giants and Rasul Douglas out there in Green Bay, those are products of East Orange. And so I knew that wasn't going to be my issue. The issue was going to be, can these kids learn how to conjugate a verb and get the practice on time? And that was the task. So when I took over, we had a team GPA of 1.6. I'm not proud to say it, but that's what it was. Right now, we're at 3.1.
That's great.
We had our number one kid, the valedictorian for the 2021 class, was about 6'5", 280, had about 5 Power 5 offers, and he opted to go to Seton Hall University on academic scholarship.
Wow.
Our number 8 kid is out in Iowa State for aeronautics. Our number 15 kid in his class is at a tiny school up in Maine called Colby.
Oh, I know Colby. I had a player who played basketball there, and I know Colby.
So they have a 1% acceptance rate.
Yeah, a highly academic conference there. Yeah.
There you go. So at the end of the day, we pride ourselves on allowing these kids the same. We really try to get, in a nutshell, we really try to give these kids the same opportunities that more affluent students get. Kids kind of with that umbrella. If things go wrong, they have somebody to bail them out. Well, we don't have that. So for football in East Orange, it's just really become the dangling carrot to how we can get them to focus on the bigger things in life. And I think we've done a decent job so far.
That's great.
We got a comment from Dr. John Taylor, athletic director at Irvington, saying, amazing job this year, Coach. Amazing year for you guys. You've done some great things at East Orange. Good luck this weekend. Fingers crossed for the Jaguars.
Dr. Taylor, I appreciate it, man. Their coach Smoke and I have become really friends in the last 4 or 5 years. They do an awesome job as well. It's funny. I think there's a duality, similarities in terms of how we approach things in urban environment. A lot of the resources are kind of the same. It's a lot of similarities, but what you will find are guys that are high quality, high character. Irvington definitely has one over there. Another young man up in Patterson Eastside, Coach Magazine, doing a great job.
Yep.
I think that the more we can show our young men that it's okay to, like I tell my son all the time, it's okay to be a nerd, if you will, right? When I was in school, we used to call them nerds. Now we just call them smart. Right? You know what I mean? Yeah. We play so much football that I believe a lot of us. Well, I'm 53, so a lot of our synapses aren't firing the way they used to. And try to get these kids to understand that you just probably need to work smart, not hard.
Comment from John Beelan. Schools, I'm sorry, hold on, you got a comment. Give me 1 second. Schools need to hire more coaches like Coach O. Would have loved to play for a guy like him. Kenny Kirkpatrick, Coach Oliver, I wish you the best of luck. Get that sectional title and on to the state championship game.
That's very nice. Coach, can you highlight a few of your players that have had an impact for you this season, and maybe talk a little bit about the dynamic of coaching your son, I believe, who's the quarterback, correct?
So, Coach, you guys, just like Coach before, you guys got nothing going on this week in your household, right? Nothing big going on. Nice quiet week.
The funny dynamic is that one of the rivalries that East Orange has always had over the years, there was two. East Orange can go 0 whatever, but as long as they played and beat Montclair and played and beat Bergen, Given was good. And the interesting part is my wife is from Montclair, right? And we actually live in Montclair. So at the end of the day, the power's always been on in our house. But so to highlight some of the kids, there's so many. I mean, to be very honest, I don't even know who to start with. There's a young man named Ibrahim, who I don't know if you've ever been to any of our games, but I don't send captains out for the coin toss. I send one young man who really has some physical challenges, and he represents our team. And those are the guys that I like to talk about, but because he never really plays, but he's just a great example of what East Orange is about. They call East Orange the crossroads of New Jersey, right? Meaning that you can get to any point in New Jersey from East Orange. And we really have opened up and expanded because of the recruitment, because of the type of kids that go there, that really do really kind of put their hard hats on and understand the bigger picture, that you get to anywhere in the country, anywhere in the world. So for football, we have a young man, our bell cows we call him this year, a young man named Kyle Lewis. Kyle Lewis is he's a Pitt commit, but he's had offers from Michigan and Penn State. He just kind of fell in love with Pitt. He's a young man that has started for me since sophomore year. He's a hard hat guy. He's a kid that'll chase you home, but if he finds he's the wrong person, he'll apologize. You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a lot of them. I have a junior named Joshua Richards. He's from East Orange, but he's just transferred back. He did 2 years in Florida. Cable Gores, I think. I forget the name of the town, but he already has about 4 or 5 offers. There's just a plethora. I mean, Ahmad Knowles, Damon Phillips, our running back extraordinaire. Damon is probably as tall as your table, but he's as strong as your house. Damon is one of the leaders in rushing in the state. He's definitely a kid that you don't have to take out the backfield just to block on third down. And he's a matchup nightmare. He and a lot of our defensive players, along with my son, have really found some synergy, and these guys work well together. I can go down the line. Munge, Sekou. What's interesting as well? I was born and raised in East Orange General, but I've found a way. We found the need to meld a lot of the young men who are not American born. So when you're from other parts of the world, football wasn't always the number one thing. So I've had to learn a little bit of Creole. I had to learn some Spanish. I had to learn some. My son speaks Mandarin. So it's a lot going on in that locker room over there. I mean, I don't see whoever has to play will win, But as far as for my son has been on my hip since he's been born. I've had the pleasure of coaching at a number of schools, Bergen Catholic, Seton Hall Prep, where else? St. Mary's in Rutherford, Queen of Pete's.
Yep.
A number of schools. I've done very well. We went on a 7-game run where for 7 straight years, no matter what school I was at, we were in the state finals.
Nice.
And my son has always been there. I think my son was probably the missing piece in terms of our offense. Our offensive coordinator, John Jacob, I don't know if you know, he's the state commissioner for coaching, but he worked at he used to be the West Orange coach for 9 years, and then after that, he wound up being an OC in Wayne Hills. And we run an RPO style, and it really calls for the quarterback to pay attention to whatever they do. If they bring a certain person, we'll throw it. If they drop back, we'll run it. And so it calls for reads. And my son is kind of perfectly suited for that. He's always been a kid who was in Montclair. We had a thing called Drums of Thunder. So in elementary school, he was performing in front of at the U.S. Open and all those types of venues, the Eagles games, the Giants games. So the stage was never too big for him. I always tell my wife, man, I'm just trying to I get out of his way. I think he's the smartest person in our house. But he's a bright kid. He's a pleasure to be around. And I coached our oldest son when I was in Montclair, so I'm used to kind of coaching my children. And we won 2 state championships up there with John Fiore. So we've kind of been on this path, and I just hope that we're able to finish it the right way.
Awesome. A couple comments. Jimmy Eiserman saying, "What's up, guys? Good luck, Coach Oliver." Dr.
Thanks,
John saying, "Ahmad Nails and Damon Phillips are studs. Joshua Richards is one of the better wide receivers in North Jersey."
Wow. Well, that's high. Appreciate it.
And then Dr. John also saying, "Coach Jake's daughter and my daughter play lacrosse against one another. We had long conversations together at the games. East Orange is lucky to have him."
Very nice.
Yes, we are.
Okay, Coach, I'll go real quick.
I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Of course.
Really quick. I know you're busy, but what is it like working with your wife?
You know what? I'm going to be honest, Coach. We look all nice and dandy right now. If you saw our little quick agenda meetings at the dinner table, it's ugly, Coach. Ugly, man, ugly. Yelling, screaming. When we get on air, we look. Everything's nice and dandy.
You just gave away the secrets there.
That meeting.
Are we making it look like it's okay?
How does it look? We get along?
It looks awesome. I'm telling you.
It's all about the visual, right? Behind the scenes.
I know. Truth be told.
And Beelan's saying, "We know who runs that house, Coach."
Right. That's right.
Oh, that was good.
But that was a great question. That was a great question. You know what we got to do, Coach? We got to do like a 30 for 30. Like we got to film that meeting and show that.
Yes.
Where our ratings will be through the roof.
The behind the scenes.
Behind the scenes.
Oh my gosh, I don't know.
So, Coach, match up with PCTI this weekend for the final. What's up?
Right. So 2 years ago, we were in the semifinals against PCTI, and we lost by about 4 or 5 points. Very good team. I think we matched up pretty well against them. They have a very good size up front, athletic kids all around. I really look forward to kind of matching our skills against theirs. The good thing is that we've done our work where everyone else that we had to play throughout the playoffs and the finals have to come through those gates in North Clinton Street.
That's big, right? That's big.
It's everything. And at the end of the day, even though we're Jaguars, our team has adopted this shark thing, right?
I see a lot of the footage of that with the kids.
And at the end of the day, what it really just speaks to is that for years, East Orange has always been the hunted. And I think we switched it into being the hunters. And it's something that we pride ourselves because we don't really play to win or lose. Our team, our mantra is to be solution-based. So what does that mean? That just means that whatever problem our opponent produces, we're going to find a riddle to it, right? We're going to fix the problem. What it does is keeps us engaged. People talk about being in the zone. Well, that allows us to quiet our minds and stay focused for longer periods of time. Because if you're worrying about winning, then that means you're playing not to lose. And if you do win, then what's your next motivation? So what we do is just kind of look at it as whatever problem you bring, we're going to find a solution. And we've been able to do that for 10 consecutive weeks.
Very nice.
Awesome. We got a Coach Kip Finley saying, "What's up, Coach O?" Kip Michael.
Amen.
Coach Siciliano, good luck, Coach Oliver, this weekend. And
Thank
my
you.
sister Jody's chiming in. Good luck, East Orange.
I love
it.
Jody.
You get it everywhere.
Coach, you guys are having an unbelievable run. You said, maintaining it for 10 weeks straight. How has the support of the students, the staff, and the community contributed to your atmosphere this season?
Great question. The town is interesting, right? We had it when I took over the job. We had a new principal, a new superintendent, a new mayor, and all of us had to kind of get to know each other and work together. And then COVID hit. So my first year, we were 6-4. Then the next year we were 7-3, and then 9-2, and then we were 5-2 on the COVID year. I'm saying that to say that we've always done things on the incline. We've always been kind of playing that music to a crescendo, right? And we really think that this year we have been able to really put everything together. I've had some really, really explosive players. I got kids that are at Rutgers and all over this country. but I think we have the best team I've had. We got a bunch of guys that come to work on time. They really work hard. They study the game. So what it's done is galvanize our community. It's not like these parents have their best kids at home and they're sending us the worst ones, right? They're sending us the best they have. And what they've been able to do was see the product on the field, see the product in the classroom. And it's kind of allowed them to breathe a sigh of relief, because we've changed the culture from being one that was unsafe to a safe environment, and then to one where they would get confident. So what do I mean? Meaning that kids were able to grow if they're in a safe environment. When they're safe and they feel comfortable, then they're able to speak their minds and speak truthfully, because there's no conjecture and there's no animus with it. And we've been able to take that and apply that to the football field. So when they come, they're asking questions. They're not really standing there being told what to do. I tell everybody they pay me as a coach, but I'm really a steward. I kind of just guide this thing. My wife would tell you, I'm just trying not to mess it up.
Very nice, Coach.
Well, I got the rapid fire with Coach.
Yep, absolutely. So, Coach, these are kind of fun, quick questions we have for you before you go, if you don't mind.
Yeah, sure.
Coach, biggest win as a coach?
Biggest win as a coach, other than when I met my wife.
Good answer.
Good answer.
I got to remember that one. I got to remember that one, Coach.
Notes.
But I would probably say last week, because every week we start over again.
Nice.
Okay.
All right, and what's your toughest loss?
Toughest loss was against Seton Hall 2 years ago, because we had a very good team that ended up 9-2, but my quarterback, who had about 12 offers at the time, wound up having a compound fracture on his leg. Ooh. And the loss was about him, not the record or not the game itself.
Nice, very nice.
All right, Coach. I don't know if PCTI is watching, but we're gonna ask him. We're gonna ask you this way.
Sure.
You're down. Hopefully, you're not down, but just say you are. You're down 13-6 late in the game.
Right.
Boom! Your son throws a touchdown pass. It's 13-12. Are you going, let's kick the one, or you're going like this? 10 seconds left. You're putting the 2 up to win that game right there.
10 seconds left. We're putting the 2 up. Scared money.
There you go.
End of the day, I have pride and confidence that when we have to bite down, remember I told you about that character thing. Mm-hmm. So I think, I'll put our kids up against anybody in that moment.
Okay.
Nice. Coach, are you a coffee drinker?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
But I was told it was good.
All right, then I got a different one for you. It's a cheat day. You're gonna eat bad. Are you going to Burger King, McDonald's, Wendy's, or Chick-fil-A?
Chick-fil-A.
Nice.
Lord.
Good answer. That's been like the
that has been the
big
front
name.
runner.
Yeah, that's the front runner. Coach, favorite NFL football team?
New York Giants.
Okay.
Can I tell you a quick story? I know
Sure.
this is quick, right?
Sure.
So
Yeah.
I grew up, watching the Giants, in the 70s, 77, Tony Dorsett. And I knew I would be a coach the day they fired Tom Landry. And I was upset at how they did it. And so I no longer, and that's what turned me off. I know it sounds crazy, but I knew I was a coach's guy at that time.
Nice,
Okay.
very nice. All right, Coach, you win the big game on Saturday. Who's the first person that you turn to on the sideline that you kind of like hug, celebrate with?
And I'm not, this one I'm not playing. I'm very, very serious. My wife, absolutely.
Uh-huh.
She's been my rock. She's been my backbone. She allows us to do what we do. And I really believe that, and I know I can speak for most of you guys in your room at least, that it's all about the teamwork. And teamwork on the team starts with teamwork at home. So my wife definitely. Then everyone else.
Then very nice, Coach. Coach, thank you so much for taking the time. We know it's a busy week for you and getting ready for everything. We really appreciate it, and we wish you the best of luck this weekend.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Coach. Good luck this week.
All right. Have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Bye-bye.
So,
Okay, Coach Oliver. Yeah, and listen, I echo what Beelan said. I mean, how do you not want to play for a guy like that?
100%,
Like I said, I worked with Coach
Yep.
at St. Mary's
Yep.
for a year. We won. When he says we won the state championship together. But
Yep.
Dr. John saying good luck, Coach, and that's it. Eddie says Coach is saying that's awesome.
Very nice.
So, All right, so what do we got going on?
Well, we have we were just waiting for our guest picker to
Okay.
Arrive, so we will get to that as soon as possible. But as we're waiting for that, maybe you want to talk about what happened last week in our standings.
Well, but last week, what? The Broncos, a couple of things happened.
Oh, we actually
Oh,
have
good,
our
good.
guest
Yeah,
picker.
bring him in. Bring him in. We don't want to talk about last week.
I'll bring him in, but we're
Real
still
quick,
not
real
talking
quick.
about
John
it.
Beelan, awesome interview. Getting those kids to get the grades up in community service before
100%.
playing. I mean, come on. And he's,
Yep.
hey, unbelievable.
Yep.
So, all right. So we got to do this. Let's bring in.
I'm going to bring in our guest picker, and then I will officially introduce him to our audience again.
Okay.
Perfect
But
timing.
yeah, you know what? I got to give you credit.
Hello, Coach Calendrillo. How are you?
I'm doing fine. I was listening to your show, and you both do a great job. And being married, my compliments to both of you. It's incredible.
That's kind of the running joke. What we see here isn't behind the scenes.
No, this is not it.
I,
What's the word they use? This is a front. This is a front. This is a front, definitely.
Too funny. But Coach, this is
well, you're doing a great job.
Thank you very much, and thank you for joining us tonight. Just to introduce you to our audience, we are joined by Coach Frank Calendrillo, who is a coach with the Garfield Junior Boilermakers. So thanks for joining us, Coach.
And I got to say, it is the reason why I coached football. My first working with Coach, I mean, I knew Coach when I was playing junior football, but then Coach asked me to coach with him, and he got me started. So that's where the football began for me. So thank you, Coach. And by the way, the Super Bowl champion,
Yes,
Garfield
I
Junior
should put
Boilermakers.
that at all levels. So congratulations, Coach.
Well, thank you, and we're very proud of them. And you're a good coach, Kurt. You brought a lot to the table.
Thank you, Coach.
All right, so Coach, we were just going over, as you, Kurt probably explained, we do like a running total all year long. So Kurt wants to avoid it this week because he's been in the lead. He was up by 7, but I closed the gap this week, so by winning the week. So I went.
So I'm going to put the standings up.
All right.
By the
Oh,
way,
he's got
real
it.
quick, John Beelan saying, Coach Cal, my man, my grandfather loved this guy. And that's Johnny Beelan's grandfather. And again, awesome guy. Also, I remember him from Little League.
So our current standings are Kurt still is at the top at 156 and 67. I'm behind him at 155 and 68. Mr. Beelan made big jumps. He's up there now at 151 and 72. Kenny's in 4th place at 144 and 79. And our guest pickers at 136 and 87.
So, Coach, you got to sweep the board to have any hope for these guest pickers, Coach.
Well, it's not. There's no pressure on this, right?
No pressure.
All right, Coach. So for each game, I'll just announce the game, and you'll be our first pick if you don't mind. So I'm just letting Kurt get the board up
Okay.
there for our first matchup. So our first matchup is these are all the public schools are sectional champions, and then the non-publics we'll talk about.
By the way, I got to give a shout out. Kenny Kirkpatrick is saying, welcome, Frank. Coach Frank, welcome. Because if I didn't, Kenny would be screaming at me if I didn't give him a shout out.
Oh, wait a minute, but read Dr. John's comment, please.
Dr. John, whoa, Jen making a comeback. That's some catch-up. Good work.
Dr. John, thank you, because Kurt wanted to skirt over it, but I went 21 and 2 this week. Thank you very much.
We'll see who finishes. And my sister Jody, Coach Calendrillo. Congrats, Coach Calendrillo, and all the junior Boilermakers from Jody.
Well, thank you.
All right, so our first matchup is in North 1 Group 1 Sectional Championship. We have number 2 Hasbrook Heights at number 1 Park Ridge. Coach, who do you have?
I think Hasbrook Heights they got a tough program, and I got faith in them. I think they're going to take this one.
All right, so Coach is going with Hasbrook Heights. Kenny is picking Park Ridge by a score of 34-27. He says Park Ridge will win an offensive shootout. I know that this is their 3rd time they're matching up this season,
Yes.
right? So I think Park Ridge is going to pull it out for the 3rd time. I know that's hard to do in a season, but I'm picking.
And that's why I want to go with Heights, because I think to beat Heights 3 times in one season, it's almost impossible.
Yeah, good point, Coach.
Beelan's going where? I'm sorry.
Beelan is going Park Ridge. I'm going Park Ridge.
Coach Cal, I talked with Coach Alimo today, and there's no way when I speak with Coach Alimo, and I said this last time, I go back to the year 2000, Ramapo, 2000, Elmwood Park Heights. They beat us in the Super Bowl. Coach, I can't pick Heights. No way. I'm going Park Ridge. I can't do it. I think you might be right, Coach, but I will not do it.
Yeah, I'm going solo on this, it looks like.
I'm taking Park Ridge.
All right, our next sectional championship is North 2 Group 1, and we have number 2 Cedar Grove at number 1 Mountain Lakes.
I know one of my coaches, Coach Solak, was there for many, many years and had a great program in Cedar Grove, but I'm going with Mountain Lakes this time.
All right. Excuse me. Kenny is going Mountain Lakes as well by a score of 27-21. He says that Mountain Lakes escapes an upset at home. I'm picking Cedar Grove. Mr. Beelan is picking Cedar Grove. And who do you have?
I am going to go with you, Jen. I'm going to go Cedar Grove. They put up a lot of points. They never scored less than 20 points, and they scored 22 on Caldwell, but they've been averaging like in the 30s. So I'm going to take Cedar Grove over Mountain Lakes.
All right. Our next sectional sectional final is the North 1 Group 2 final with number 8 Hanover Park, our guest Coach Fulton tonight, at number 2 Caldwell. Coach, who do you have?
Well, originally I was looking at Caldwell, but after listening to Coach Fulton, you know what? He impressed me. He's going to bring his guys in, and I think they're going to win the game. So I'm picking Hanover Park.
By the way, Beelan's saying Kurt is scared. He's looking over at the picks, keeping it close. No way.
I love how we get on him for this stuff, because at dinner tonight when we were doing our picks separately, he kind of was trying to find out who I was picking. I swear. Okay.
Dr. John saying, is it Gogarty? Gogarty is going to get it done. Cedar Grove gets this one done. He was their quarterback in the early 2000s, and the Panther grad brings home the title to the Panthers.
Oh, nice. Always adding some good stuff there. Thanks, Dr. John. All right, so Kenny is picking Caldwell by a score of 21-7. I can't read your handwriting here. Hanover Park. Oh, Cinderella run comes to an end. I agree with you, Kenny. We both called them our Cinderella team last week when we both picked them there as well. I loved having Coach Fulton on. I just think Caldwell's going to be a little too much for them, so I'm going to go with Caldwell. Best of luck to Coach Fulton, though. Mr. Beelan's picking Caldwell as well.
See, I agree with Coach. I swear, and I'm telling you, if it was any other team on this board, Coach, after listening to him, I would be like, they're going to do it. But who have I said all year? Caldwell, Coach. You like defense, right, Coach Calendrillo?
Absolutely.
They gave 54 points all year, and they're 7 in the last 4 games. Not average 7 points in their last 4 games. And I think the Caldwell defense gets it done. I hope Coach Fulton could do it, but I'm going to go Caldwell.
All right, moving on to our North 2 Group 2 sectional championship. We have number 6 Jefferson at first seed Rutherford.
I think Rutherford has always had a great program. They got a really good running back there, and I'm picking Rutherford.
All right, nice. Rutherford, Kenny has Rutherford by a score of 28-17. That is saying that Rutherford's just going to be too much for Jefferson. I have Rutherford as well. So does John Beelan.
Yeah, so do I. I mean,
sweeping the board.
Yeah, Coach, that kid, I think it's Cerulli. They got the kid Van Weber, the quarterback Coach Sheridan always talks about. I'm going to go Rutherford too. So we're going to sweep the board with Rutherford.
Our first sweep. All right, North 1, Group 3 sectional championship. Number 2 West Essex at number 1 West Morris.
There's 2 good teams right here, but I'm going with West Essex.
All right. Let's see. Kenny has West Essex by a score of 24-21. He's predicting that West Essex will win with a field goal, and then he wrote "Go Hoops."
Coach, she is an alum. She graduated from West Essex, so she's got to pick. Even though she didn't pick them to win the next round, just saying.
So I do. I have West Essex as well. John Beelan has West Essex, and how about you?
Yeah, I'm going to take
another sweep.
We joke around, and Dr. John will like this one, Coach. We always say they run the Delaware wing tee, so we had Lewis Saunders on our show, and he called it Windows 95. So he said, that's from Windows 95, the Delaware thing. So, but Windows 95 is going to win. I'm going to go West Essex.
All right, our next one is the North 2 Group 3 sectional final with number 3 Sparta at number 1 Cranford.
Again, two good teams here. I think Sparta's, the program that they've had throughout the years, they're going to win this game.
All right. Kenny is picking Sparta as well. He's saying that Sparta would be upset by a score of 21-14 is his prediction. Mr. Beelan is picking Sparta. I'm going Cranford. I picked them in the beginning. I'm going Cranford on this one.
This was the toughest one. This was the toughest one. I really wanted to go Sparta, but I circled Cranford. They impressed me versus Pascagoula Valley. I'm going to take Cranford. I think this one can go either way, but hopefully you and I are on the right side of this one.
All right, our next matchup would be the North 1 Group 4 Ramapo at Northern Highlands, but we're just going to respectfully not choose that game this week. We just feel like it's kind of the right thing to do. So we're going to move on to the North 2 Group 4 Sectional Championship, which pits number 2 Middletown South at number 1 Irvington.
Irvington, I believe they have it all. They're going to win this game, and I think they're going to do it convincingly.
Nice. Kenny is picking Irvington as well by a score of 15-13. He's saying that they'll win their first sectional title in dramatic fashion is his prediction. I agree. I think Irvington's going to be victorious as well, bring home that first sectional crown. Dr. John, we're pulling for you and your program. Mr. Beelan's picking Irvington as well.
Yeah, and Coach Calendrillo, Dr. John, AD, is always on our show. They have never won a sectional title in 102 years. So this would be the first one, and I think they're going to get it. Their defense is phenomenal. They play a crazy schedule, and I think that pays off this week, and I think they get their first sectional title.
I think it's going to happen, and I wish them a lot of luck.
Absolutely.
All right, moving on to Group 5, we have the North 1 Group 5 sectional final, number 3 PCTI at number 1 East Orange. Coach Rae Oliver,
real quick,
I
just got to give another shout out. Our good friend Jerry Patiri saying Coach Frank. So Jerry Patiri's giving you a shout out.
How you doing, Jerry?
All right, Coach.
Good ball player.
Who do you have in the PCTI at West Orange?
You know what? Coach Oliver, he seems like he's got he masters his team. He's got a good handle on what's going to happen this week, and I'm picking East Orange. And also, being a graduate of Upstate College that was in East Orange, I'm a little partial on that one.
Nice,
Okay.
Very nice. Kenny is picking East Orange as well by a score of 34-27. He's saying East Orange escapes a tough PCTI team. Mr. Beelan had the PCTI win last week. He's sticking with them again. He's picking PCTI. I'm going East Orange.
Yeah, a couple comments. John Beelan saying, sorry, Coach O, but I got to rock with my boys, PCTI. And Jerry saying, great coach, Coach Calendrillo. He gave me my first nickname, Hollywood. So, there you go.
That's for sure.
You know what? I'm with you guys. East Orange, Coach Oliver. I think he's got. You know what? I loved how he said they got to go through the gates down there at East Orange.
Yeah.
You know, like that place will be rocking. It's going to be tough to win there, home field. And I'm going to go East Orange. Dr. John Taylor, thanks everyone. If things go our way, I'll send out championship shirts. Your support for Irvington is much appreciated.
Awesome.
Let's go.
And your support is appreciated.
Absolutely,
as well.
Dr. John.
All right, North 2 Group 5 Sectional Championship, number 5 East Side at number 2 Clifton.
You know, I never thought I'd be saying this, having been in the NNJO when I played in high school against Clifton, some of the longest games. You know, you look at the clock and the numbers don't tick quick enough. But I am picking Clifton. They got a really good running back, and it's Brian Feliciano, and I think they're going to win it.
All right, we have Kenny picking Clifton as well at a close one, 29-28. He says his predictions, they'll win by going for 2. I'm picking Clifton. Mr. Beelan is picking Clifton.
Yeah, I'm picking Clifton too. Like Coach said, that Feliciano, they got a good quarterback in Velis, the receiver, Swayze. And Coach, this game ended. I don't know if you know, this game ended. They played once before. It was 17-14, like 2 seconds left, 4th and goal on inside the 1. Clifton made a goal line stand. Hopefully for Coach Sinque, it's not that crazy, and he could be celebrating at the end, but I'm with you guys. I think Clifton's going to do it. Coach is right. Great running back. They got a nice little offense there.
They do, yep. I want to make sure I have the correct one next for you. Moving on to the non-public schools next. You have the Bergen Catholic matchup.
Yes, this is the non-public.
All right, so now our non-public is actually the
Semifinals.
non-public A is the semifinal. So we have number 4 St. Peter's Prep at number 1 Bergen Catholic.
You know, while I have the most respect for St. Peter's Prep, Bergen Catholic is tough this year. You know, the record indicates it. I think they're going to take it all the way, and I'm picking Bergen Catholic.
Paul Giglio is saying East Side, solid defense, Coach Mags all the way.
Nice.
Coach mentioned that before. He mentioned about, was Coach Oliver, I think,
Yeah.
right? Mentioned about East Side coaching.
Yes, he did. You're absolutely right. Yep. Kenny is picking St. Peter's Prep by a score of 31-28. He says St. Peter's will pull off the shocker. I'm with you, Coach Calendrillo. I've said we've had a discussion all season about how hard, especially in that, the non-publics it is. They battle it out every week, and that could anybody stay undefeated? And I predicted that Bergen Catholic would. So I'm with you, Coach. I think they're going to stay undefeated. I have them winning. Mr. Beelan has Bergen Catholic, and how about you?
See, Coach Calendrillo, listen to how slick John Beelan is. I did tell him, and maybe it's because Beelan, maybe he's doing some kind of math that I don't understand, but he's telling me, I told Beelan nobody will be undefeated by the time that season's over, right? So he's saying to me, Kurt, stick to your guns. You said no one in that division will be undefeated. You better pick St. Peter's Prep. What's the semifinals mean, Coach? There's another game. I don't have to pick against them today.
He's trying to box you in, Kurt. That's all.
Not boxing me in. I'm too smart for Beelan. I hope Nico's not watching, but not this week, Beelan. You're not getting me. I'm going Bergen Catholic, like Coach said. They're too good.
Yeah.
They're too good. But next week, get back to me, Beelan.
All right, our other non-public A semifinal matchup is number 6 Don Bosco at number 2 St. Augustine.
You know, St. Augustine has the record. I believe they're 9-1. But the caliber that I see Don Bosco playing up this way, I'm picking them. I think it's gonna be an upset, and they're gonna win.
All right, Kenny agrees with you, Coach. He's picking Bosco by a score of 28-20. He says Bosco pulling upsets off all year, and this will be another one. I'm going to go St. Augustine. I kind of feel like, they're in that bracket. All they do is hear about these teams up north. I just feel like they play with a little bit of chip on their shoulder. So I'm going to go with St. Augustine. Mr. Beelan's going with St. Augustine. And you?
Coach Calendrillo, you are the witness on this one. This is the one. This is the game that's. I'm a game up on her now. This is the one that's gonna separate us because I'm with you. Don Bosco beat this year St. Peter's, St. Joe's, Del Barton, and DePaul. They got to travel down south, but you know what? Like Coach said, it's a different animal up here than down there. I'm with Coach. I'm going Bosco.
I see them being like one of the most improved teams throughout going forward.
Yep.
They've come a long way.
I think this is the game that separates us.
All right, we'll see. Moving on to the non-public B semifinals. We have number 5 Holy Spirit at number 1 DePaul.
I'm going DePaul. I think their program has really taken some leaps and bounds going forward. They've been playing good football, and I believe they're going to win this game.
And Kenny has DePaul as well by a score of 35-14. He's saying they're just too much for Holy Spirit. I agree. I just think also DePaul playing up in all those non-public A, that their schedule is just, prepare them to be, in my prediction, that non-public B champion. So I have DePaul as well. Mr. Beelan has DePaul.
And look at Beelan saying, is this Spartans versus Spartans? Look at these logos. It's true. They're both Spartans. One's blue, one's green. And I'm with you, though. Their defense, Coach, is just unbelievable. One of the best defenses in the state. And like you said, playing up a level. And I think they beat Holy Spirit.
All right, and our last non-public B matchup is number 3 St. Joseph Hamilton at number 2 Red Bank Catholic.
I am picking Red Bank Catholic. I believe they have what it takes to win this game.
All right, and Kenny is picking St. Joseph Hamilton by 21-19. He's saying they have too much playoff experience and they get the road win. I'm with you, Coach Calendrillo. I just think that Red Bank Catholic's talent this year, it's funny because all I hear from your experience at St. Mary's is them falling to St. Joseph Hamilton year after year after year. But I think Red Bank Catholic is going to have the edge this year. So I'm going with them. Mr. Beelan's picking Red Bank Catholic, and you?
Listen, might be worse than me picking Heights, but like she said, we faced them like 4 times or 6 times at St. Mary's. We can never get by them. They have, you ready for this? 27 sectional championships. 27. That's I'm not even 27 years old. They're more than me. But no. 27. They're 54-14 in the playoffs. Listen, I hope they don't win, but for stats, I'm gonna go with St. Joe's of Hamilton. They're just, when they get to the postseason, it's like a different animal. They don't lose, so I'm gonna go with them.
All right. And our last matchup is our out-of-state matchup. We have.
You know what? We gotta give Coach a second because I forgot to give him this one.
Oh, all right. Okay, you want to explain to him our Maryland teams?
Yeah, what we do is we adopted through Kenny. We adopted this Huntingtown team. Big running game, Coach Calendrillo. Defense, running game. So they are, I believe, their record is 9-1. And they are hosting another Maryland team, Douglas, who's the number 2 seed, who is 10-1. So.
Well, the way you explained it, Kurt, the first team was, what was the name of that team? I'm sorry.
Huntingtown.
But they love to run the ball, and that's my style.
I know. That's why I got
run the ball, and that's where I'm going. That's who I'm picking.
All right. Well, Kenny has Huntingtown as well. He's predicting a score of 21-15. He says Huntingtown will win it in this classic 1-2 matchup. I'm going with Huntingtown as well. Mr. Beelan's going with Huntingtown.
Yeah, and Mr. Valenti's going to Huntingtown too, because like Coach says, they run in. Hey, what wins now? Running the ball and play defense. Coach McGuire is saying, when did you play? Did you play them when you were at Mary's? Yeah, we played them. I would say 2010, 2011, 2012, all 3 of those seasons. And listen, they were good. I mean, we were good in 12. They were good. St. Joe's of Hamilton. So we sweep the board with Huntingtown.
Yep.
All right. So let's get Coach up for one more second here. So, by the way, Coach, I want to announce on Thursday, Jen, at 7 o'clock, we're going to be doing a special show for the Super Bowl champion Garfield Junior Boilermakers. All 3 levels won the Super Bowl. So, Coach, we are looking forward to doing that with you guys this week.
And everyone's looking forward to participating, and we want to thank you for recognizing these fabulous group of young athletes, and this is truly a blessed year, and by going on your show, it's going to be even better. So I again want to thank you, and you do a great job, and thanks for inviting me to make the picks. I hope I pick up on the and carry some weight here.
No, hey, it was great breaking down the games.
Absolutely. Thank you, Coach, for joining us.
Coach, anytime you're welcome. Looking forward to doing the Garfield show with you guys, and thank you so much.
Yeah, congratulations again on all 3 levels being victorious. That's an amazing achievement. You guys must be very proud.
It was a great time, and working under my son as he's a first year head coach. I had a lot of more fun this year than probably any other season. So, and we had some really good assistant coaches. Jimmy Eisenman's on the show. 2 Coach Ed Pavlik Sr., Ed Pavlik Jr., Pedro Nolasco, and Luis Gomez. So it's been a lot of fun, and that's just on our level. But we'll save the rest for when you talk to the head coaches in the program. So.
Awesome. And Coach, you know what? You're the 3rd guest tonight, and we said we were joking with the other 2 guests because, the one coach, Coach Fulton, was coaching. His wife's a soccer coach. Then we have Coach Oliver, and his son's the quarterback. Yeah. And then you guys last week. So you guys must have had last week a boring life in your home, too. Like, you guys probably had nothing going on to talk about last week, right?
Well, I just asked Frankie. I say, Kurt would be impressed with his offensive calls.
You told me.
Way better than when I was a coach. I was more of a defensive coach, but he's not afraid to air it out. And we had some talent, but I think he's got a future because he's been around it for like 9 years as helping out and doing the assistant. So he got his first opportunity, and he did well. but we try not to argue on the field.
There you go.
It just doesn't look good to the kids, and our assistants, it doesn't work well for them either. So we keep the peace on the field, and thankfully it works.
There you go.
Very nice.
Coach, thank you so much,
Thanks
Coach.
again. Looking forward to seeing you on Thursday.
Okay, well, thank you so much. You have a great night and the best of the show.
Thank you, Coach. Okay, so there's Coach Calendrillo, Garfield Junior Boilermakers, and again, way back when he was the first guy, hired me as an assistant, asked me to help out, and it all began there. So I want to thank him for that. Jody's chiming in saying we beat them in softball for St. Joe's of Hamilton.
Nice.
Different animal in softball. I can tell you that right now. But yeah, Coach McGuire's asking when 10, 11, 12. They were a juggernaut. Again, it was an awesome show tonight. Awesome guests from Coach Calendrillo, Coach Fulton, obviously Coach Oliver. And you know what it is? Like, we look at this real quick, and you look now, and Jody's saying a few times LOL, but you look and it's like, where on this week would you be like, oh my God, I'm shocked that game won? Like, any one of these teams, there's no more,
absolutely.
like, these are championship caliber teams. Mm-hmm. So if any one of these, an 8 beats a 2 or 6 beats a 1, and, like, how could you say it's an upset?
Well, we talked about once the state tournament starts, first round, those numbers are meaningless. Now, even more so, we talked about even to Coach Fulton about him being an 8. Caldwell isn't going to look at them as an 8.
No, no.
They're,
and who's going in with more confidence than Hanover Park?
Right.
I mean,
exactly.
they beat Ramsey,
and
but went to Waldwick, nothing to lose.
Yeah. So
I was wrong on one thing. Remember I said it was only 2 seeds over a 4 seed? East Side's also a 5, too. Okay. That's left. The non-parochials, they're not in the finals yet.
Right,
so
right.
That's that. But again, it was a great show, fun show. But again, just terrible day in the football community in North Jersey. We're coaching with the passing of, the best, Coach Drew Gibbs. And, I want to say it again. And hopefully, we do something later on for Coach, but it was an honor. It was an honor and pleasure to coach under him. I know I speak for a lot of other assistants. Again, I had conversations with other coaches today where we were just shocked, and prayers go out to him, his family. His son's a coach on the Ramapo team. Prayers go out to the Ramapo community, Ramapo football team. There's John Beelan saying, rest easy, Coach Gibbs. Absolutely. Rest in peace, Coach Gibbs. And prayers go out to everybody involved.
Before we go for the evening, I just think it speaks volumes that both of our guests this evening, as soon as they entered the show, we welcomed them, we asked them a question, but before they would comment, they both wanted to give their respect to Coach Gibbs. And again, we spoke about it this evening, but just think that speaks volumes about the person that he was. He will be missed by many.
Yes,
He's left
absolutely.
a lasting legacy, not only at Ramapo, but on all of the people that have crossed his path.
Yes. Side note, the Super Football Conference was supposed to hold all conference selections tonight. We canceled it out of respect to Coach Gibbs. It was the right thing to do.
Oh, very nice. Yeah.
Yes, and that's where Hanover Park, where Coach Fulton was saying.
Right. He was originally not able to make it, so
great thing to do. Good luck with your picks. Good luck with Coach Calendrillo, Mr. Kirkpatrick, Mr. Beelan. And you know what? Good luck to all these teams playing this week. Mm-hmm. I mean, I could just say, coaching in a sectional final, it's like, you win that game, and, hey, we've won them and we've lost them. But when you win them, and Coach Oliver was with us in 2006, and obviously with Coach Gibbs in 2001 and 2003, and it's just, Coach Breslin shared obviously with Coach Siciliano, and you just remember like it was yesterday, and like those feelings just never go away. And the 3 hours to pro, it's like it's unbelievable.
And it's something those players will never forget. It's a moment that they'll remember and think about for the rest of their lives. So best of luck to everybody playing this weekend. Be safe, be well,
and we will see you Friday night
for our